Welcome back to some professional StarCraft 2. Some top tier European players you might recognize on a map. You might not. And I'll spend far too much time describing. But first, in the bottom right of Golden Wall, the Polish, we're not done here. We're not done. We gotta do the intro bit. Elazer. And in the bottom left, the captain, the Dutch Protoss player. He is Harstem. Didn't know what I was going to say. Keep them guessing. Just like this map. Because Golden Wall features mineral walls all over the place. These are 20 mineral patches, which takes 4 trips to mine through, but so 8 total trips to actually open up this area, which unlocks essentially the lower half of the map. And then there's also smaller mineral, like just a couple trips, but just a wall of minerals in the center. And then there are gold bases, which also technically serve as a wall. You can't get through here. It might look like you can. You cannot. Don't even try. Though, can you do the probe thing you could do on Redshift? I don't think so. I think they're not set up like that. But anyways, so you could take a gold base from the top side, which gives you access to 1 gas geyser. Or you could actually take it from the bottom side, which means you only get minerals, but I guess, it depends on your definition of protected. But I've seen a little bit, from what I've seen, which is not much, is players are still trying to figure this out. There doesn't seem to be any sort of meta in any particular matchup. There doesn't seem to be any sort of just trend of players like, are we taking the back base or taking the front base? Obviously, people are taking the front base first. But on maps like this especially, it's always interesting to see how people expand, or honestly, a lot of the time, they just kind of... Oh, well, there you go. They just kind of do a 2-base all-in or something. Right. Elazer will take the gold at the front. And Harstem is going for a Stargate. That's par for the course. But, wait, did the OV see the Stargate? It did. But the Zergling will super see the Stargate. And that's cool, too. The Stalker should not be able to kill that Overlord. Yeah. It's out of there. There was no scout of an Oracle coming out. And so far, I'm interested to see what Harstem's going to do about this gold base. It's not necessarily like I have to go over there and kill it, but the longer... So golden minerals return 7 minerals per trip. That's 7, not 8, right? 7 minerals per trip compared to the 5 a worker normally does. Which means that, well, you get more minerals with less workers. Come on, how long does it take to say that? Sound it out. Think about it. Actually, don't think about it. It's very simple. You get more minerals, less workers, more efficient. The actual potential saturated income of the base is the same as other bases because you only have 6 mineral patches. Harstem is just going to take the 3rd base to the north. Okay. Meanwhile, Elazer, he doesn't have... Well, his Roach Horn is a 1/3 of the way done, as is Resonating Glaives. So there should be potentially Roaches by the time they're glaive to depths. But will he have any reason to make a serious number of them? Also, at the same time, Harstem going for a 3rd base with 2 gates is not going to have a whole ton of glaive to depths. Where are you going, Zerglings? Because the Zerglings cannot... minerals can withstand anything. They can withstand a nuke. They can't get attacked. This is the only enemy that workers can counter. Finally, something for them. A strong attack coming together. 8 glaive to depths, but there's plenty of Zerglings. Glaives is done. Decent surround on the creep. The queens are involved, and the adepts will shade right through. A roach pops out. There will be some damage done, and even 2 glaive to depths can be devastating. And wow, yeah, it looked really good to start. Nope, he canceled the shade. Oh god. But now Elazer's down to 42 workers. He's lost 12 workers to just a handful of adepts. Oh, and a stasis on the gold base! Harstem with the double prong. That's actually a beautiful stasis. And suddenly Elazer's in a really, like... Harstem knows everything he's doing. He knows he doesn't have a good economy. And Harstem did this all off of 2 gateways while taking a quick third. Elazer's going to scout that third base, but it's too late to commit to punishing it, especially after a dozen more drones. So he's kind of just got to roll with the punches for now. He's not going to do the probably ill-fated Ravagerling all in. Instead, he's going to build up and play it out. More drones on the way. He's got to go out with the Roach Ravager. He doesn't actually have roach speed, nor does he have it on the way, which is unfortunate. Like, we'll see in a moment if he adds it on, like if he forgot it, or if he's just planning on no more roaches and Ravagers from here on out. Well, maybe Ravagers, but no more roaches. There's a Dropper Lord on the way. Baneling Nest. So, well, but Harstem... Yeah, I guess his Templar Archives is a little on the later side. Harstem has 72... Wait, no. I can't read that. Harstem has 68 probes. Elazer has made his way up to 72 drones, but it took him a while to catch up there in the worker count. And Hydra Baneling, like, the supplies are in favor of Elazer, but that's only because he has so many roaches. Charge is on the way, +1. Harstem's actually taken a while to get to this tech, which is what has allowed Elazer to kind of bounce back economically. That's it's a lot of slow everything. I mean, I'm not one to judge, but no roach speed, no Hydra speed, right? No Baneling speed. There's a reason that Zerg has so many speed upgrades. It's important. Oh. The force fields don't quite stop the stasis from getting triggered. Hydra speed and Bane speed are on the way. And Elazer's putting together this timing. Storm is only about a third of the way done, going on half. I'm sure he's chronoing, right? Yeah, he's chrono boosting Storm. Meanwhile, charge lots are trickling across the map, and Zerglings are mostly, but not entirely, ignoring them, which is also kind of weird. They're on the gold base, but does Harstem actually have enough to hold here? Where are the force fields? They protect everything. The Ravager not breaking it. Meanwhile, the charge lot's getting a lot of damage done. 16 probes were killed. In the main, where an Overlord drop actually just came in. Meanwhile, Warp Prism in the main base of Elazer. He has to scramble all the way back to deal with this. Yes, technically he does have this area cleared up. Some more charge lots going to be warped in as he realizes there's only one queen. It's +1 attack. Harstem doing damage back to Elazer, but not a critical amount. Oh, where are these drones going? Wait, the gold base has mined so much so far that now it is no longer a wall. It is no longer, if you would, a golden wall. And Zerglings and Hydras and all those other slimy, creepy, crawly things can get back and forth through it. 16 drones went down, but neither side... Oh! Goodbye, Warp Prism. Neither side doing critical damage to the economies. Kind of evening out a bit. Elazer has a slight supply lead, but there should be Templar. Yes, there are Templar, but you got to be careful as to where they are. The force fields, the Baneling slamming through. Meanwhile, a Baneling drop in the natural. He's going to fend things off. There's not +2, but the damage will be done. Speed Banes. Oh, he's got one more. He's got one more. He's chasing. I don't know. Like, Harstem definitely some... he's panicking a little. Corrosive Bob, plenty of storms. There's a bunch of charge slots waiting for their opportunity to do anything else. We're kind of just ignoring the bottom half of the map, especially this. Oh my god! Category 5 storms! And it doesn't stop! And it can't stop! And it won't stop! Oh my... The Banelings trickle in! The most amazing storms he could have dreamed of! But there's still just so much Zerg. It isn't enough. The Archons are taken out. The Immortals will stand fast. The Storms don't get much better than that. But still, Elazer had enough to whittle it down. The Changelings, those aren't real! He's using the Changelings to help wall off the charge lots! What a game! Oh no, though. +1 attack is done. We're looking to see, oh my god, the Changelings to wall off the charge lots, and then the Hydras are here. Harstem, has he bitten off more than he can chew? Elazer, the Spot Crawler going to work. Just a couple Archons here. Harstem doesn't have an overwhelming economy. He's gone too far, too fast. And he's not able to break Elazer. Elazer letting that Oracle go for now. How generous? I lied. Don't trust. Verify. Therefore, not trusting. Doesn't make any sense. Whatever. Elazer comes out of this with 66 drones and a couple more bases, whereas Harstem is now mining out of his main and his natural. And is just now taking a 4th. It felt like that might be the opportunity. But without much splash damage, it's a struggle. There's no storms here. A few more seconds. The charge lot's trying to split off. Storm is ready. He's got the energy now. Great storms. The Archon's going to hold things back. +2 melee attack is done, which means they're great against charge lots and... Oh, no, 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 watch out, watch out! They 2-shot Templar, and they 1-shot probes. Meanwhile, Harstem starting to crumble. Some charge lots actually get into a nearly undefended base. Harstem needs a 4th. My charge lot's trying, but +2 melee Zerglings, decent enough. He really needs a 4th base. He's not even exploring the bottom half of the map. Elazer's going to have mining, and he will not. That's simple enough. A few more charge lots sent out. This 4th, not happening. Where are the storms? Well, there's nothing protecting the Hydras, but there's no cancel on the 4th. The charge lot's in an awkward spot. The Archon's holding the line for now, but the Hydras picking him up. The Baneling's getting dangerously close to the Templar. Harstem's being whittled down. Oh no! He has to storm to avoid the Banelings hitting the Templar, which is not an ideal scenario by any means. And Elazer just keeps up the production for too long. He keeps Harstem off a 4th base. And he survives. Harstem with big plays, but it's what happens off the screen oftentimes that decides it. Golden Wall and Zen. Those are our 2 maps so far. Game 2 is on Zen, which is interesting because you'd think, being the weirdest maps in the pool, at least one of them would get vetoed. Sometimes you get pro players who will play veto chicken, where they're not actually vetoing. Like, if you offered them chicken, they would probably eat it. But instead, where they're waiting for the other one to waste their veto on a weird map, like Golden Wall or Zen. And then neither of them do. Leaving us in this kind of scenario. Who knows? Maybe they like the maps. That's just a lower percentage. Harstem trying another strat for walling off here. He's going, like, we've seen some players just do a wall between the Nexus and the front, because Zen also mineral wall infested, infused, influenced. Take your pick. But you do have a gap at the top of a small ramp, and then you have a larger ramp that is harder to get to, but more open, obviously. So that can potentially leave you in an awkward spot. The probe of Harstem forced Elazer to take the third base, but it's not the end of the world. Like, Sarah will sometimes just go take the third. You see even a hint of a probe, and you just go take the third. Because you can't let a single probe ruin your game plans. It might be one of the smallest and cheapest units in the game, but if you are a probe, have no fear. You can be the most meaningful, annoying piece of shit in the entire goddamn game. Never underestimate and never trust a probe. It's going to be a Twilight Council out of Harstem, mixing it up. He also didn't send out an adept early, right? Does he have an adept? He's building one now. Slapping the robo down as well. Great production tab reading for me. Is this DT drop? Is this DT rush potentially Archon drop? That's almost always what it is in this scenario. Harstem doesn't have the gas for that, though. So that means charge. Or does it? Glaives. So close. Might be like, well, it was just 50 gas off. Yeah. This isn't Diamond League. 50 gas off means he's not doing that build. That's what that means. Interesting, though, because, like, the Twilight Council at this time, and the fact he went Stalker first, Harstem is making this look like a DT Archon drop, which means you need Archon. I mean, you need Spore Crawlers, potentially. You need to potentially rush a lair. And while it does encourage roaches, if you spend enough money on things that are not anti-adept, then sometimes the adepts can get critical damage. Like last game, I felt like the adepts were handled well. They still got 10 kills. So I guess they weren't handled well. But and this time, it's going to be more of a surprise. Yeah, Spore Crawler on the way. How many spores does he have? He's got 2 spores. And now, surprise, surprise, surprise. Adept's going to be warped in. Not that much of a surprise. There's no wall. He notices an opportunity. There's no drones at the net. Does he decide to shade all the way to the main cancels at the last second? And Elazer did not... He entirely bid on that. Whoa, Harstem. Harstem, I guess he's counting the drones. And he's like, you know what? I don't need to risk this. It's a little surprising. He's warping on the outside here, which is fine. Okay. I guess Harstem not even going to risk the adepts. Just wants to make sure he forces units out of the laser. And if this is Harstem saying, well, he already doesn't have much of an economy, so I don't need to risk my units trying to destroy more of it. I think that has to be what this is. Because there was an opportunity to do damage, but he would have definitely lost to Adepts. The idea, the threat of Adepts is sometimes more damaging than Adepts themselves. They get in, the drone, not able to build the Evo chamber to wall, not doing his due diligence. The Adept being used to clear creep as well. Meanwhile, during this, Harstem building Immortals. I believe we finished 1, maybe 2. Got a 3rd base on the way. The worker count Elazer getting up there. He has a lair done. Starts roach speed. Last game, I felt like the big issue for Harstem was honestly getting a little too cute. It's pretty easy to do as Protoss. You've got a lot of high micro potential units. You've got Warp Prisms, Adepts, you can have Storms. He's going for Blink. And then the Zerg comes and rips your face off with the APM of a grandfather clock. At least during the fight. Not that Elazer. Anyways. You just gotta have the right unit composition, and that solves a lot of problems that microing takes a lot more effort to do. We see Harstem putting even more pressure on, but I think he knows now that roach count is too damn high. He's gotta feign as much pressure as possible. And he's gonna go Blink Disruptor. Okay. I stand by my statements. That is too cute. Like, Blink Stalker Disruptor. There are, by definition, a lot of moving parts there. There's a lot of things that have to go right. And yes, they're very good units. You got to put that puzzle together as Protoss. You got to find the unit composition that's going to deal with the Zerg. If you're 2-base, and I don't think Harstem was 2-base all inning, really. But if your 2-base pressure doesn't put you in a winning position, or win the game itself, then you do have to solve the puzzle. I don't think quite yet Harstem really realizes, one, the economy of Elazer and how much he's committed to the, well, one, lurkers, and 2, just straight up Roach Hydra. And disruptors are great. Those big danger balls taking out huge groups of units. You've all seen the clips, but what you don't see are clips of 4 or 5 disruptors hitting 2 roaches and a Zergling, and, well, okay, that's not great. Like, Dark Shrine on the way. Gravitic Drive. A Disruptor. There's already a couple Ruptors out. This is shaping up to be another fun game. I'm just worried for Harstem that at some point, like, Elazer is gonna deal with an attack and then come over and punch him in the forehead. Which would be a weird place to punch someone, but he hits him so hard it doesn't really matter. The War Prism still looking for an opportunity. Where are the Disruptors? He's keeping them at home. Where are the Disruptors? Is there a Disruptor with this army? Am I missing? Oh, there it is. He's waiting. He's holding. He wants that money shot. He wants it so badly. But there's a Nidus in the main, and... Wait, does Harstem see it? Wait, is that... Yes, he does. He does. But does he see it? He's warping at 2 DTs. Oh no, it's too late. It pops out. There's lurkers in that thing. Oh no. Oh, and the splash damage is hitting. No! The splash damage hit his DTs because he had one zealot, ruining it for everyone. Fire! Fire the shot! And suddenly... Meanwhile, he's trying to micro on the other side as well. So many moving parts. So many moving parts. Things are getting very, very difficult right now for Harstem. And like, he still has a big army. Oh no! And there's lurkers! There's lurkers! There's lurkers! That's okay. I could That's how the Stalkers felt too, so I feel justified in my commentary. There were lurkers in the grass. The disruptors kind of hit. There's another. Oh, he can't get through. They're everywhere. But Harstem has dealt with most of this pretty well. Another DT dies to the shredding. At the end of the day, Harstem didn't lose much economy or many units, so I guess... Alright, okay, calm down. Are the lurker upgrades? He does have lurker range. Lurker range is done, which makes it harder for those disruptors to find good connections. Okay. No, you gonna leave? Harstem, where are you going? Harstem, there are more Niduses in you, but there's lurkers everywhere. It's a nightmare. Somehow the supplies are both maxed, but Elazer's running him in circles. He has to recall, but the rest of the army is in the center, ambushed. A disruptor hits one roach. Another disruptor sniped away. Another disruptor, not gonna happen. Wiffle ball, another one, pretty decent hit. Another good hit, but the main is under fire. It will be cleaned up. The fourth base is okay, and Harstem has handled this beautifully. What a masterclass! What? Elazer just lost so much. Elazer lost so many units there. It's unclear exactly where, but everywhere, essentially. In the main, at the fourth, at the third. It looks like some charge lots were doing damage. Okay, so +2 attack for both sides. +2 ranged attack and +2 Protoss ground weapons. The disruptor count is... We got 4 disruptors left over. A lot of stalkers. This is still a fragile army. Some glass cannons here. Stalkers and disruptors do not stand up long to in a fair fight. Elazer has rebuilt as he had plenty of bases. The disruptors. Ooh, doesn't quite hit that second lurker. Harstem still has to put out fires. This base under attack. Meanwhile, in the main, a big warp prism play. The lurkers will dunk their faces into the ground so damn quick, and also a bunch of probes dying, base dying. Where are the units going? They have a kill here. Meanwhile, Harstem is getting beat back to 3 bases. Deja vu. Everything he's throwing at Elazer is beaten back. And he didn't actually kill this, but one adept is working very, very hard and diligently. But Harstem has lost his 4th. Oh, he just now lost his 4th. I thought he had lost it before. I think so did he. But Elazer's pincering with lurkers. The fadeaway shots, looking for an opportunity. Get a couple decent hits. Is there a recall? It's unclear. The Immortal's in a weird spot. Lurker's on the high ground. The base is still alive. Harstem has lost his economy. He's lost his Immortals. He's lost his Disruptors. And he's right on the edge of losing the game. Oh, God. There are so many Lurkers. They're what is this Disruptor? I don't even... Suddenly, Elazer is ransacking Harstem's units. He has his pick. There's a Nidus in the main. There's not even anything in the network, but he can send those packets. Oh, wait, what? Okay. The lurker's just less micro-intensive than the disruptors in this scenario. And Harstem, he held on. Defensively did well, but it's really hard to put together a coherent attack while managing anything like that at home. Another good disruptor shot, but another good game. As Elazer takes it, 2-0. Well, that was very exciting. What a great pick from that random chat. But hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, like and subscribe. And does Protoss need a buff? Does Zerg need more discussions? 40 replies deep in YouTube comments and Twitch chat? You tell me. Like and subscribe, and thank you for watching. Good luck. Have fun.